the planet,
Jeez,
including the
you'd be
planet.
a pretty fucking cool tree, man. I tell you, that root system
Yeah,
would be pretty
yeah.
elaborate, man.
I, I,
Because I
I
mean,
can see myself.
you've been
I,
in
I got
music,
a
man.
connection.
You've been in movies. You even been in jail, Tommy. Like,
Yeah.
tell us about jail, man. Like, you met some people in there. I know there's some stories. What's jail like being Tommy Chong? Like, are you in regular cells? Are you in holding? Like, how does
Well,
Tommy
I'm
Chong go to
glad
jail?
I went to jail at the basically at the height of my career, and so I was so famous that the guy that drove me from the prison to the camp, first thing he did was pull out a Cheech and Chong album to have me sign, and everybody, the warden, everybody met me at the gate, and I was like a celebrity, and they're very honored because prisons are homes where people live, and a lot of people are living there the rest of their lives. And yeah, and at times it can be a place of violence, but for the most part, it's a school. It's like a school. It's whatever you make it. You know,
Exactly.
I watched guys in there, and all they just sat on their bunk the whole time they were there. And then other people, they couldn't wait to wake up because they had so many activities going. You know, they had their life there, and it's such a home that if you get uh, if you're incarcerated long enough, you will lose any kind of feeling for the outside. And that when you being released, by the way, is like another punishment for these guys.
They don't know
You
how to
know, they
even evolve into community. They don't know anything other than jail, right?
all they know is jail, and that explains a lot of those wild car chases that you see in the city. The cops, the guy won't pull over, and they chase him for 5 hours. Guess what? He's going to jail, and that's what he wanted to do. The prisoners sometimes call it going on vacation. They get out of jail, they're out there for a minute, then they have to commit a crime that will get them back into jail. Because the jail is like a university. You got to apply for admission, and if you don't, if you don't make the right requirements, you don't get in.
Exactly. Exactly. So do they put you in like a private bunk? They keep you isolated, or are you with the other inmates?
No, no, I was with I was in the camp, and so I was in a dormitory with 200 other older criminals. I think I was in the gay section too. I could have been. I know. See, in prison, you mind your own business. You don't even make eye contact. You don't look at anybody. You just stay in your own. That's how you create your own privacy. If you don't want to talk to anybody, you just turn your back, and no one will talk to you. See, there's a etiquette. There's a prison etiquette that you have to follow, and if you don't follow it, then they'll lock you up. They'll put you in the hall, or they'll put you in a solitary situation. And the thing is about prison is that you have to follow the rules, because if you don't, they have ways of taking care of anybody that doesn't follow rules. And there's big guys in there ready to do that chore, beat the shit out of somebody because they didn't. A lot of them are mentally ill. And so that's the sad part about prisons, and especially the poorer ones. They get in there, and if they're mentally ill in any way, they will suffer. Or if you're even too affluent, you go in there, and like there was a guy in there for some medical device thing. He lied about it, and anyway, he got jail time. The SWAT team come and got his ass, and he was the last guy that should have been in jail. I mean, he looked like Woody Allen, and we used to call him Mister Clean, because he one of his jobs was cleaning the toilets in the visiting room. It was one of the posh jobs.
Yeah.
But while I was there, the drama was that someone was taking a dump in the showers, Now, the prison I was in, we had unlimited showers because we had our own water tank in tap. And so you could do 40-minute showers if you wanted to, no problem. Uh, but this guy, whoever it was, he would do his business in the shower. And then he would try to stuff everything down the drain with his foot. And but he left enough evidence behind that grossed everybody out. Now we had a meeting. It was, I think, the first meeting I went to, the dorm meeting, and our dorm leader, Miss Strickland, beautiful, beautiful young lady, and she says, "Okay, there's someone's doing their number two in the showers," and and Steve, this blind gypsy, holds up his hand, and she goes, "Yes, Steve." He says, "Listen, who's ever doing that? Would you don't use the first shower. Use the second, third, or fourth, because I always shower in the first one."
Oh shit! At least he's dropping dumps and not dropping the soap, I guess, right?
Yeah,
It could be worse.
So
Oh shit!
so anyway, that was a drama. Well, about a month went by, and then I got to know everybody, and what was his name? I forget. Oh, his name will come. Anyway, he's like the dorm master. He's the head of the dorm. Well, what happens? There was a contest. Whoever had the cleanest dorm for a week got to go to the mess hall first.
Oh, okay.
And if you got there first, you could order eggs on Saturday, however you want them, over easy or boiled or whatever. And so that was a big contest, and everybody looked forward to it, because if you won, then you had to walk to the mess hall, but you had to walk. You couldn't run.
Oh.
But these guys are, half walking, half running. It was, they play games like that to keep everybody happy. And so, we had that going. And then, but we found out who the shower shitter was.
Oh, shit.
Because now, remember, these are criminals that are locked up.
Yes.
And so when someone commits a crime, right away, everybody turns into a cop, and does the detective work. Well, what they did, they went around and examined everybody's shoes after they got out of the shower. And when they found the one that had the shit marks on it, we found the guy. And it happened to be Mr. Clean.
Oh, shit.
And what happened, Mr. Clean, he was so weird. What's racist?
Okay, yeah.
He was racist to the point that he could not sit on the same toilet that a black person had sat on.
Oh,
and
no
that's
way.
He was that racist.
He was so racist he didn't even want to come in contact with them through a piece of article. Oh, wow.
Right.
That's deep.
Right.
That's deep in a person.
Yeah. Well, no, there are people, they got all sorts of phobias. Germaphobes, you can't touch anybody, Well, he had that in his mind. And so, but they found out it was him. It was so sad because we used to have coffee with him early in the morning because it was our little work group. And then we'd go off to do our jobs. And so we got to know Mr. Clean pretty good. And it was all white or not black. There was no blacks in our gang. But when they found out it was Mr. Clean, they drummed him out of there. Like everybody was yelling at him and screaming, and he got taken from the camp over to the real prisoner.
Wow.
And that's where he did the rest of his time, over there. But it was sad, man, seeing him. And he looked at me. Talk about eye contact. He gave me eye contact, and it was like this helpless, I'm sorry, I'm sick, I'm messed up. And it was kind of it was very touching. And I had stories like that all the whole 9 months that I was in. Every day there was some kind of drama similar or comparable to that.
Can really bring you back to level in humanity too, because a lot of the people that are in those places, they got there because of wrong choices that they made throughout the past. But I feel like deep down, everybody's got a little bit of good in them, and you probably got to witness some of that good and also some of that bad, right?
I did. I did. The good news, we're in a camp that if you raised your voice, you could get taken out of that camp, you know. And so I seen some skirmishes that were pretty funny. One of it, oh, another Mr. Clean joke. He's on the phone. When you get busted, like I did, they don't let you use the telephone for 2 weeks.
You got busted
And
for what? What'd you get busted for?
No,
Okay.
when I got arrested
Okay.
and sent to jail.
Yeah. Go
When
ahead.
I got to jail, when I got to prison, the rule was that I couldn't phone home for 2 weeks. You know, because they want to let you know that you're in jail now. You know, everything's a privilege. You know, using the telephone is a privilege. And so when the 2 weeks was up, you know, I'm on the phone talking to my wife, and she said, "How are you going? How's it going?" I told her good. I said a couple of things. I told her about. Yeah, everybody treated me nice. In fact, a guard even came in my cubicle and sat on my bed, and we chatted for a while, and you know, he really made me feel at home. Well, after I hung up the phone, almost 10 seconds later, I got summons to the control because they listen and tape every conversation. And I forgot they did that. I didn't even think about it, you know, because I've never been paranoid about anything, you know. And so they called me in there and says, "Okay, who's this guard that came in to see you?" And I looked at him and I said, "Oh," I realized, you know, they heard the conversation. I says, "Well, I never got his name. He never told me his name." "Well, what do he look like?" I said, "Oh, he looked like a prison guard, you know, with the uniform on and everything else." And they realized, you know, I wasn't going to be the snitch,
Yeah, you're not
because that's
snitching.
what they're looking for. They were looking for the snitch. And so they said, "It's okay. We know who it is anyway." And so that was the end of that. Now, cut to a couple of years after I got out and everything else, I come across the guard. What was his name? I can't think of it. I might think of it. Anyway, he's not in. He just got out of jail himself. He got caught smuggling contraband into the prison, and anyway, he did some time himself. And so that's the whole thing about prison. It's a life, and if you're a guard, you're doing life in jail.
Oh yeah.
You know, you're doing life, and you're it's worse than the prisoners. Prisoners, it's they have to be there, and so they're reading books, they're doing everything. Can you imagine a guard? A
Oh,
guard is like a gardener. All you do is walk around, make sure everything's watered and picked up, and you got a uniform on. It's hot.
they would live such a weird life, Tommy. Like you got to think, man. They're getting up. They're working shift work too, right? So they're going to work for 12
Yeah,
hours. Then they're sleeping.
yeah,
They're barely seeing
yeah,
their families. The family they know are these friggin' criminals, man.
yeah.
That's the
That's all they
family
know.
they know.
That's it. That's who they hobnob with. The whole thing, and sexually, like I'm cool. In fact, I got prostate cancer when I
Yeah.
was in there. But there are some very attractive female guards there, and there were some very attractive professional athletes,
Oh my
you
God.
know, that nobody knew that were doing their time for whatever they did. And so there was that dynamics going on all the
Wow.
time.
So are the guards like? Could the guards be sleeping with the inmates? Like, could they be
Oh,
banging and shit?
it seems to be that's the way it works. If you
No
got a
way.
sexy woman and a sexy guy, and you know, and you're both incarcerated.
You gotta love that. That's a story to tell, man. I mean, if you're incarcerated and
Oh,
you're
but you
banging the
can't.
guards, like that is
No,
just that is a
but
win-win right there.
but you can't tell that story
No, you
because
can't.
then investigations come out, and when you uncover that, these are men and women living together,
Yeah.
you know, under these stressful conditions, and so you're going to get that. Oh yeah. Well, remember that guard that helped that prisoner escape?
Oh yeah.
You know, remember her? A
100%. I've got a
lifetime.
funny story for you, Tommy, and none of my followers even know this. So when I was young, I got in a fight. Tried to break up a fight, and I had to go to jail for 7 weekends. I only had to go on the weekend. And my last weekend there, the guys would put on the TV screen. They put the porno on Saturday nights, and they put it on the TV screen, and all the guys would be on their window doing their thing, right? So I've been there now. I'm a little comfortable, so I'm like, all right, whatever. We'll do our thing here too. This female guard walks by and stops me. I get in shit. About 2 years later, I see her at the bar. What happens? I bring her home, man. This is before I was married. And we nailed the guard, man. So no one knows that I've ever been in jail, but I did that.
That's what I'm saying.
It's so fucking funny. Oh my God, man.
You talk about testosterone.
Yes.
That's a magic thing. And you'll find that most prisoners, most guys that break the law, loaded with testosterone. 100%. And the guards that work there, they know that. It's attractive. You know what I'm saying.
It's a thing, man.
When I was going to school, walking to high school or grade school, actually, and I'd listen to girls talk about guys, and they always, the guy that you thought was really the pretty boy, they had nothing nice to say about him, but the badass, the guy that wouldn't follow the rules or had the hair too long and the pants too weird, that's who they talked about. And so growing up, I wanted girls to be talking about me. And so me and then I made friends with this other wannabe hoodlum, and his older brother was one, and inevitably they all had been in jail at one time or another. So when I went to jail, it was like inevitable,
100%.
Now, Cheech, on the other hand, Cheech is the opposite. Cheech was raised by a LAPD cop. And so his biggest fear ever was to be thought of as a gang member. So when Cheech did the lowrider bit in Up in Smoke, that was the most opposite of Cheech that he could be. And he nailed it so well that everybody to this day would like him to be that lowrider.
So are you talking the lowrider one where you guys are banged into the pole, you think you're stopped, you give him acid or something? That is one of the I think that's better than No Dave Here, man. I think that's the best scene in the whole movie, man. I fucking love that scene.
Oh no, that's the scene. That's a lowrider scene. But Cheech is an actor, and same as me. Yeah, I saw Buddy Guy documentary. Buddy Guy, the great blues guitarist. And when I saw that, then I said, I really am an actor. I can play guitar, I can play the blues, but I'd rather be an actor. If I'm going to pursue anything, I'm going to pursue the acting.
Well, you've been a great actor, man, and you made so many awesome films, and you made so many cool things, and now you're continuing to act. So, like, throughout your career, can't even say career for frig's sakes over here. Throughout your life, man, like, you probably met a lot of cool people. Like, what was the one that you were like, oh man, this is like, you're feeling nervous, like you're feeling excited? Do you remember that, Tommy, and who that might have been?
A couple. I've met more than enough. Bob Dylan.
Oh, no way.
I played basketball with Bob Dylan. He's a big fan, and just recently I've been learning all about him, and what a genius he really is. I met them all. I met Muhammad Ali. I had a nice time with him. A very short time in an elevator. Again, serendipity. I get a call from this stripper that I knew that I'd worked with before, and she had to tell me that she just had a night with Muhammad Ali. And I said, oh, everything cool? Oh yeah, he was beautiful, gentleman, all that, The next day, I'm in Detroit. I get a call from Bobby Taylor, the singer, said, the champ's coming over. Come on, I want you to meet the champ, Muhammad Ali. So I drive over to the apartment block, got on the elevator, and there's Muhammad Ali. Now, he doesn't know me from anywhere. And he kind of like didn't look at me, just kind of, well, really ignored me. So we're riding up to the same floor. He has no idea who I am, and then we're going to the same floor to meet Bobby Taylor. And so halfway up the elevator, I said to him, "Oh, by the way, Lady Scarlett says to say hi."
Oh shit! What a comment! Did he perk up?
His eyes got big. His eyes just got so big, and he looked at me like I was a haint. You know, I was like, and before he could say anything, the door opens, and then we go to the same door. We're going to the same place. And then Bobby introduces me. But we don't say anything about what I said about Lady Scarlett, of course.
Oh, man.
She's married and all that time. And so we took pictures, but they lost the pictures of us. But his reaction was great. Yeah, I've had more than my share of meeting. Like I hung with Peter Sellers for a couple of weeks. We did a tour in England, thanks to Peter Sellers. He set it up.
No way.
He set up the whole tour, and we toured everywhere we could tour. Doing comedy, Cheech and Chong. So I've had a very, very wonderful, blessed life, meeting a lot of not just influential, but special, very special people.
Listen, man, I feel very special to have met you, man. You're an icon in the things that I do and the things that I love, and you're making such a cool impact, even at your late age that you are right now. Do you feel old, Tommy, or do you still feel young, buddy? You're making these TikToks. You and your wife feel like such a cool couple, man. Are you still having so much fun? Like you're still young, brother.
It's a lot of fun, but I really